Have you ever noticed how some people explain themselves way too much, even when they don't need to? They justify simple choices. They add extra details. They keep talking just to make sure they're understood. If that sounds familiar, this video might feel uncomfortably accurate. This is the psychology of people who over-explain themselves and the rare trait behind it. 1. They learned early that being misunderstood felt dangerous. Psychology calls this emotional conditioning. When someone grows up in an environment where their feelings were questioned, dismissed, or challenged, they adapt. They start explaining everything in advance, not to convince others, but to protect themselves from being invalidated again. 2. Over-explainers are highly self-aware. They constantly monitor how they're perceived. This links to social cognition and high emotional intelligence. They don't just hear what they say, they imagine how it sounds in your head. So they add context, and more context, and sometimes too much. 3. They associate clarity with safety. In psychology, this connects to uncertainty avoidance. Silence feels risky. Short answers feel incomplete. So they fill the space, believing that the more clearly they explain, the less likely conflict or rejection becomes. 4. Many over-explainers are deep thinkers. Their minds don't move in straight lines. They see multiple angles at once. This is common in people high in openness to experience. So when they speak, they try to compress a complex inner world into words, and it comes out longer than expected. 5. Over-explaining is often mistaken for insecurity, but psychology shows the opposite. It's frequently linked to conscientiousness. They care about accuracy. They care about fairness. They care about being precise, even if it costs them extra energy. 6. They fear being misjudged more than being disliked. This ties into reputation sensitivity. They'd rather be fully understood than casually accepted. So they clarify, they justify, they over-communicate, not for approval, but for truth. 7. Over-explainers are usually good listeners. Because they expect misunderstanding, they listen closely. They notice tone shifts, facial expressions, unspoken reactions. And that makes them emotionally perceptive, even if it exhausts them. So, here's the takeaway. Over-explaining isn't a flaw. It's a sign of depth, awareness, and emotional responsibility. But the real growth happens when you realize this. You don't need to explain yourself to be valid. If this felt personal, you're not alone. And if you enjoyed decoding human behavior like this, subscribe because the mind hides more truths than we realize.